Hello, ladies and nerds.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling, yeah. Welcome back to the Bald Podcast, number 11. You want to know what we were doing 11 podcasts ago?
Hunter's podcast?
11 podcasts ago? Bald Podcast 1? Bald Podcast 1? Dude, the 4-4 movie came out when we first started these podcasts.
The what?
It's kind of a long... It was around the time the first 4 movie came out, right?
Oh, four.
Not the
sorry.
first.
I
The
thought
fourth.
you were saying the number. I thought you were saying the number.
Yeah.
I was like, what's 4-4?
I didn't even run 15 yet when we started the Bald Podcast, bro. Isn't that
Oh,
crazy?
really?
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
Cause I got it on my Snapchat memories today, cause I had saved the thumbnails with Snapchat for some reason for most of my tournaments and videos, and I saw that on my memories it popped up as Bald Podcast 1, and it's that goofy image that Sonic like made that inspired a lot of Bald Podcast thumbnails that I make now. Right. Just the most like deranged shit all in one thumbnail. All right, well, we have a lot to talk about.
Yes. Tournament 17.
A lot to talk about. Tournament 17, at the time of this release, would have premiered 2 days ago, I think is the time I plan on dropping this. And, there's a lot to talk about. It was a very interesting tournament. And I want to clarify, just so that it's not, like, really weird. We did film this podcast a week ago in upload time zone,
A week before, so this is being recorded a week before the premiere is actually aired. So
yeah,
as someone,
because I'm gonna be in Pittsburgh, PA, and Hunter's gonna be busy most of the time, like throughout the week.
I asked you I can't remember what you said. I think I asked you how long you're gone for, and I completely blanked out what you actually said.
Yeah, I'm gone from Monday, so tomorrow, our time, to the Saturday before the premiere. So I'm gonna miss Rock's premiere, unfortunately.
Oh, you know what I just realised? You're premiering it on the Sunday, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm premiering it Sunday.
Yeah. So actually, I think looking at the time right now, it premieres 3 hours, and then plus 1 week from now. I think is
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to watch the premiere anyway because I would be asleep. So this is fine because what I was gonna say was I must be one of the few people in the community that doesn't seek out spoilers. I like to keep a little bit of surprise for watching the premiere. So having been given the results for this tournament, it's kind of like the exact opposite of what I normally like to do. But I just realised it doesn't matter because I'm not going to be here to see the premiere when it comes out anyway. So
Yeah, because Sunday. Yeah,
it's
unfortunate, but it's whenever it worked best for me.
The holidays
and
are the
I
holidays.
I realized that I don't want because I was gonna premiere August 5th, the week after when it's premiering now. Then I was just like, it's kind of disingenuous just to hold on to a done video. It's not the Halo Sasuke way, right? So I tried squeezing it in with my currently tight
The
schedule.
irony is, if you had it the week after, I probably wouldn't have been able to see it anyway because I have a ninja competition that weekend.
Oh shit!
So I'll be gone early Saturday night, and then probably won't be back Sunday either. So
Christ.
because I'll be out all day Sunday.
I gotta say the time editing this tournament, like the hours I put in to get this done and the time that I did, is kind of fucking ridiculous, Hunter. I was doing 12 hours a day on editing.
Excellent.
to get it done. Like, cause I wanted it to keep going with the quality of Tournament 16, cause I thought
Yeah.
that video was actually really pretty good with the quality, and
Hmm.
I knew I need to keep that train rolling, but I was like, I gotta get this done because I'm running another. I don't want to be behind schedule, for too long, like a tournament behind.
Yeah.
So that's
Not the
why I was
Hunter
just
method.
like, exactly. I don't want to be like Hunter over here and I have to wait till like 3 years down the line to see my run. It's not something I want to do. Sorry. Uh, no, but if you guys watched the premiere, I hope that everything came out okay. I'm gonna actually be watching through the YouTube video tonight because I uploaded as an unlisted video. So I'm gonna watch through it tonight and make sure that everything's all kosher
I won't go off topic. It's
and
the one
not.
time we'll go off topic. But
Yeah.
I have to, since you just said that about watching it, presumably to check everything. I gotta
Hmm.
love, I gotta love Rog's commitment to the checks he does on a new premiere video. Checking
Yeah.
everything to, like, I couldn't give two shits about my music being copyrighted or not.
Yeah. Me
So
neither.
the effort he goes through, I'm not making money from this anymore. So the money
Right.
the effort he's going to make sure that every music piece is still not copyrighted. Um,
That's
yeah.
what's funny about it. My video's banned in Russia and Belarus, bro.
Oh, that's just I think that's for different reasons, but yeah,
No,
definitely not the
it's because
music.
of copyright. It's because of copyright. I got the like check thing from YouTube
Ah, okay.
saying that, oh yeah, because of copyright reasons, your video can't be.
So it's not
Of
because
course, there's probably the bonus, global
I was going to say
problems reason,
that advertisement you put in at the start of the video saying justice for Ukraine, that didn't force it to get banned.
Oh yeah, no, that didn't go over well with the press, in Russia. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm actually wanted by the Russian government. Did you know that?
oh, you too? I was
Because
going to say
I
they
actually
wanted me
premiered
last
it
month.
live. I actually premiered it live in Kiev, right? And and
Anyway,
they watched they, they watched Smokey Massacre get the next second All-Star spot and they're like, "Damn, I'm inspired." And then they won the war. Can you believe that?
oh God. Anyway, back on topic.
Oh god. No, but if you guys watched the premiere, good. If you guys haven't watched it, please be. I spent way too much time on that video. I would appreciate a good watch through. You had to watch through the whole tournament, but like, watch your run. Watch your
Yeah.
favorite jumper run.
If you're not in it,
You know,
watch my run.
yeah,
I lasted
because
more than a
Hunter
stage
should be
this
your
time.
favorite jumper. If you're watching the Bald podcast, especially already this far, right? um, But yeah, in 16 we watched as like a lot of the veteran guys kind of, sucked, like Hunter Unit,
Yeah, it's true.
and then like a lot of the newer guys kind of really, step up. And you know what? I'd like to think that the results in this tournament were not like that. They weren't.
No, I would agree with that. I think this was very much a bounce back tournament for a lot of competitors, especially a lot of the so-called veterans.
Hmm. And so as a good example, Hunter Unit bounced back, got back to stage two. Is a good place to start with the veteran success.
Woo.
Smokey got second place in the tournament after going on the triple hole in the wall in the last tournament, and got his spot in the All Star crew, which is pretty cool. Um, Compares like Rog and Flame, who failed stage one last tournament and aren't stage one competitors, bounced back and got the stage two. Um, I'm trying to think of other people. Um,
Sonic.
Sonic, yeah, he failed stage one in the last tournament.
Strafe.
Strafe. Again, it's like the veterans, they showed up. They came back, right?
Yeah, it was
And
definitely a bounce back
it was
for them.
also joined by a lot of newcomers from last tournament that it got off to a real strong start, hitting a real like sophomore slump. You know,
Hmm.
we watched Disappoint go out on stage one. We watched MMO go out on stage one. MMO
Big
was like
disappointment.
MMO. Like I hyped that man up.
Me too.
Okay, I hyped him up. Uh, and honestly, I think that Weapon Mat failed stage one. I think that's the biggest shock of the tournament for me is MMO failing.
More so than Matt. That really does say a lot.
In my personal opinion.
Hmm.
Because obviously Matt hasn't really been as involved on Infinite as he used to
No.
be. Um, but obviously, two won their own. It's the two-time grand champion. It's always a shock when he goes out. On
Well,
stage
actually, you know
one,
what?
right?
I just realized I can make a brilliant break the 4-4 reference here because Rog's premiere will have come out, and I don't know if you know, but obviously, if you've watched the Rog premiere, Matt cleared stage one in that tournament, and that stage one was
Mm,
obviously very difficult. So, and I only know this because I was there for the run,
yeah.
and obviously it's in the premiere. But my God, it sounds so obscure breaking the 4-4 talking like this. But yeah, that was sort of another case, a really good example of Matt just sort of doing a fireball, showing up with not a lot of prep and stepping up,
hmm
especially doing it on a stage that I think was considered quite difficult. But I do think that's the exception to the rule. I know he's obviously not cleared stage one on Irish's course yet, and he's done all of them. And although he did clear stage one last time on your 16, maybe not
hmm
as much of a shock this time around seeing him fail.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Obviously from like a viewer's perspective, it's definitely a lot more shocking to see Weapon Mac go out. But like I think from a generally informed competitor in the jumping community, it's not that much of a shock
Hmm.
anymore. Like,
If
cause
you're in the know,
it's almost like Matt clearing is like against the odds at this point.
yeah, it's great to have Matt as a competitor, but it's not the same expectations as it was maybe in the last like 2 or 3 years since he started just tearing it up.
That's what's crazy about it though is he started having those like lower expectations, and then he won my course again. That's
Well,
what's crazy
then
about
he
Matt is he can
yeah,
always do well.
well, he didn't just win your course. I think he exploded onto a lot of different courses. Um,
No, no, no. I'm not talking about him winning like in my 8. I mean like in my 15 is when he
oh,
started to disappear.
yeah, because obviously by that point, the likes of Petrillo, Joey, I don't know if maybe there was someone else, had maybe like jumped ahead of him in terms of like, oh, this guy's probably
Dude,
the most likely to win in 15.
people were predicting Cyrus ahead of Madden 15.
Hmm. And Cyrus, of course, did get
Like
to the final in 15.
yeah, no, he had a great run, no
Yeah.
disrespect, but like Matt wasn't the highest odds.
No.
Nobody saw that one coming, I think.
Hmm.
Especially me.
Um,
But yeah,
yeah.
other stuff that happened, Pedro cleared again. Failed the fourth obstacle stage 2, got one obstacle further than he got last time. Um, it's a bit of a shocker, I guess, when Pedro doesn't get the stage, like a slight shocker.
I
But
think,
I think Pedro's starting to fall into the same boat that Weapon Matt's in currently.
yeah, Petrillo is definitely not as active, just in general on Xbox. And that could be through, life just being a bigger factor for him now. But I
Yeah.
do think it
No,
hasn't
I
been the
think he's a
same.
busy kid.
But from a jumping point of view as well, uh, I do, I do get the feeling at times that it's not the same Petrillo that we saw again, probably the last couple of years on Halo 5. The one, the best comparison you can give to Patrilla is the one that got to the final on your course or on Rock's course, or the one who won Flames course. And I don't see that Patrilla right now, which is a shame because
Hmm.
obviously everyone likes Petrillo. Pretty much no one's got a bad thing to say about Petrillo.
Right.
Yeah,
No, I
so
agree.
it is sad to see.
Uh,
But he did at
we
least
did
clear
have a
stage
few
one again.
people. Yeah. We had a few people kind of like continue their success from the last tournament. Like Eternal Flame got back to stage three, got two obstacles farther, made it to the 3-5 instead of 3-3.
Yeah,
Um, kind of continuing off of where he started in 16, I guess is the best way to describe it.
beating the
You know,
cliffhanger on his first try as well. That is no small feat. Uh,
absolutely.
I can't say there is probably not too many competitors just across all of Chumpy's tournaments that can say they beat a cliffhanger the first time they ever got to one. Um, so
Yeah, right.
yeah,
No, absolutely. And a obstacle like the Ultimate Crazy Cliffhanger, which Hunter knows a thing or two about
yeah,
in
still got the
Tournament
scars.
8, you know? Yeah, for sure. Great run. Joey Davis got first place again, technically.
Yeah,
He did get a bit farther on the pay cloud than everybody else.
could be
And
considered a little bit of a surprise, considering obviously he did get one obstacle further last time.
yeah, no, he it felt like he went backwards on obstacle, but he still continued his like top guy thing, right?
Yeah,
And I think that it's going to be very interesting to see how Joey Davis bounces back in tournament 18 for sure.
mm.
Because it's a fall off by a little bit, but if we're being real, can we call a deep stage free a fall off?
Well, I don't think. I mean, the best comparison I can give from my own career is me going from like into the final in 16 on Smokey's course to failing like the second to last obstacle on stage 3 in 17. That's not really a fall off, and I would not call this a fall off.
Hmm.
I wouldn't call this a fall off, just not even because it's a deep stage 3. I would just say just because he failed one obstacle earlier, like that's not a fall off. Like that's
Yeah.
practically getting almost as far. Again, it's just
Hmm.
and when you know the damn obstacle took out 4 people. So
Right.
I definitely wouldn't consider it a fall off. I don't know how Joey
Yeah.
would have taken it at the time, how disappointed he was, but I wouldn't
He
consider it a
didn't
fall
seem
off.
very disappointed about his run
No,
when I talked to him about it. I feel like an obstacle like the pay cloud that's so difficult, it's almost just extra impressive that he beat it in 16.
mm,
You know?
yeah,
That's the way I look at it. But what do I know? I just run the course.
I just show up
uh,
to host.
yeah, we did continue to have some first time clears in this
Yes,
tournament.
2, I believe.
Uh, two of them, yeah. Robotic Pie cleared for his first time. This isn't his newcomer appearance. He competed in tournament 15, going out on the Jump Hang Kai.
Was he in 16?
What a freaking jump
Yeah.
to stage 3! You know?
So
Like,
he wasn't in 16, right? He didn't compete in
he was
16.
not in
Okay.
16.
That is a hell of a jump. That's the sort of thing where if he'd done that on like one of the big 3, like that would be getting hyped up for a long
It's a
time.
chumpy jump
Yeah,
in
exactly.
19 of Smokies.
That's
It
a
really
great
is.
that's a great comparison. I actually really like that. Um,
Because I failed the jumping Kai
yeah,
in 18. It's a literal chumpy jump.
if you go from any of those sort of fails where like you fail like the staple trampoline obstacle in stage 1, whether it's like the jump hang high, jumping spider,
Right.
whatever it may be, and then you go from that and then
To
jump to
early stage 3.
a stage 3 on your next appearance or in the next tournament, um, like that's like kudos. That's really good, and for a guy like Robotic
And
Pie who's not really had that much success on any courses, I don't think, off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I
no.
feel like he's cleared a stage one on someone's course once, maybe.
I think he cleared Flames course once,
Yeah. Um,
but like, I
yeah, that's
that run
really impressive.
happened, and I was just like, who is this kid?
Yeah,
I did his 15 run, and he did his thing. He did his thing, failing in the jump hang kai, but like I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, this is just gonna be one of our regular guys, right?
hmm.
Complete shock because he ran early. You were there
I
for that
came in, so
run.
I think I came into the party whilst he was like about to do his stage two run. So I'd
Hmm.
missed his stage one. I don't even know if I clocked that when he started doing the run. This was stage two and not stage one until maybe like about halfway through the run. And
Yeah,
then he cleared, and it was just crazy. Um,
yeah.
Stage three
I
didn't quite go to plan, but
yeah.
I don't think there can be any disappointment there.
Oh, absolutely. I think that was just an absolutely fantastic tournament for him, and I want to see what he carries into 18. You know,
Mm.
that's the kind of stuff that gets me excited about 18, right?
It's
Is
either
seeing
that.
how
Yeah, sorry, go on.
is seeing how people like respond because I think we watched as a lot of the newcomers that did well just responded different in 17, right?
Yeah,
We
he's
watched the pressure get to some people, and we watched some people continue to fly.
grow. Yeah, grow. It's gonna either be what you just said, or he's gonna do the robotic thing and miss the next tournament, and you're gonna be really disappointed. But he's gonna come back in 19, and then we'll see what he does
I I
in a
will I
full-on
will say
17.
this is part of the act I'm putting up. Robotic did already run,
Oh, okay, excellent.
so
Fair enough.
he will be in this tournament.
Damn, this dude
Yeah.
likes to do early runs, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, I did start the tournament on Thursday, so
Oh, you know what?
I
Sorry, yeah,
don't know.
ignore me. Runs have already happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair enough.
um, Another new new stage one clear. Game Man Gaming YT.
Yep,
All
GG.
hail Gaming Warrior,
Oh God. Okay. Right, so at the time, I gotta
bro.
go. Um,
Brother. Dude, GGYT, dude, he gotta kick stage one's butt, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He made it look ugly.
I'm not sure how many. Is this his second appearance? Was he in? He was
It's
in the
his
last.
second appearance,
Yeah,
yep.
he was in the
Because
last tournament.
he competes on mouse and keyboard.
Yeah. Um,
Yep.
I keep forgetting. I do know it because you've said it before in the videos. He's obviously got a history with this course. He did
He
the
did my
graph
profiles for
profiles. Yeah,
tournament
that's it. I was
14 and 15,
I
yep.
was going to say he did the effects for the profiles, but yeah, he did. Yeah.
He did them.
Didn't he also do something else? Is it something like? Did
No,
he put something in the?
I
Did
think
he put
that's,
something in the? Was he the one who put something in the Discord about that whole green screen thing?
yeah, he made that idea that borrowed, you know,
Borrowed.
borrowed,
Kopashev.
borrowed. Uh, I did message him and I was just like, "You're cool with me just using this, right?" He's like, "Yeah, okay."
I got really. Me and Strike got into a cool conversation about it. Uh, after he'd done it, like a couple of days after he put that stuff in, and I told
Right,
Smokey like how disappointed I was because I actually thought like he'd managed to make all of that using just Infinite.
right.
Before I then obviously realized it was a program that did that. And then
Yeah,
and
he
then
edited it.
and then me and Smokey went into a long conversation about how cool it would be if Infinite was actually good enough to do shit like that. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, GG. Hell
failed
of a
the
step up. Very impressive.
yeah, zip ties.
Mm. Tough
And
obstacle.
zip ties is just a classic Halo Sasuke obstacle that we watched it take out like so many people back in like what was it, tournament
7, was it?
7. It took out like half the crowd that got the stage 2.
Yeah.
That's no easy obstacle, man.
No.
It's not.
I
And
know the pain of failing it.
him getting that far is impressive.
Mm.
Yep. We watched continuous success from tournament 16. He went out in the medal spin this tournament, which is one obstacle further than where he got last time.
Disappointing. I did think if he got past the clocks, he might have cleared stage 2. I don't know what his time I'm not sure what his time was like. I can't
He
remember.
had plenty of time. He was
Yeah,
rushing through the stage.
yeah.
That's the honest. That even tells me now, because I think actually getting kind of like invested in Halo Sasuke a bit, which is pretty cool.
He seems
Because
to
I've
be.
been,
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna echo that just in terms of Irish discourse as well. He's gotten very into doing Irish discourse too.
yeah,
Um,
which is honestly, it's the that I've been just kind of fucking waiting for a
I think
while.
he. Look, I can't speak for him, even though I've known him longer than pretty much anyone. I
Hmm.
know he got a little bit drained with Halo 5, especially by the end. Like he didn't really want to do uh, that many Halo 5 tournaments towards the last like couple of years or so. Um, maybe he could get drained from doing it in Infinite, but obviously it's early days right now, so we
Hmm.
don't have to worry about that yet. But yeah, I mean, he's running your course. I don't know how many tournaments of yours he did on
He's
Halo
practicing
5.
my course, dude. I
Yeah,
was talking to him about it. He was telling me all about how like he thinks that he can actually get far and has like practiced a bit,
yeah. He
which
obviously
I've
just
never
had
seen that before
yeah.
from it's cool.
He obviously had a great Irish tournament. He's done all of obviously Irish tournaments like the last like 5 tournaments now or something.
Right.
And obviously had a great one recently getting to stage 3. Um, and he's not showing up to like every course and like every tournament, but like the fact that he's
Hmm.
doing these courses again is great to see.
It's nice to see. Yeah.
And a happy ump that clears stage 1 is always a good thing. So I've seen him clear stage 1 and do well again, following on from
Yeah.
16. Is pretty
Hmm.
good. It'd be great to see if he could crack stage 3. Uh,
I can't wait to make that Halo Sasuke and Abs partnership happen, bro.
yes, that was a
I
thing.
can't wait.
Yeah.
It didn't end up happening for 17. We're gonna try to make it happen in 18 though.
Mm,
Yeah. We got some time, obviously, but because
yeah.
I'm just, yeah, I'll probably go over it all towards the end. Another person who like continued their success, but like, uh, kind of just like stopped in a similar spot to where he stopped last time. Halo fan went out on the last jump of the dismount of the metal spin. He didn't get a jump.
Yeah.
Like he hit the platform of the final climb.
Mm.
And went out. That kid has gotten so close to my stage 3. So close. And
Oh,
I and hang on.
did you kick him out?
I did. And
You have to. Oh yeah. Don't worry. Carry on. I'll message him.
yeah. And like I honestly like he's the person who I want to just get to stage 3 more than anybody else because of how close he has gotten to it
Yeah.
and
I
hasn't
mean,
gotten it twice in a row, dude.
when you
I
get
feel so bad, bro.
when you get as close as he did in 16, um, you just like will automatically fall into that like category of like, oh, this guy needs to get to stage 3, just to forget that
About that,
because if
yeah.
he like never gets to stage 3 now, like he's never gonna forget what happened in 16. It's just gonna be so horrible. Whereas
Mhm.
obviously all he has to do, if like all he has to do is get to stage 3 once, and then he never has to worry about 16. It'll still be like on his record, but you know, he will have done. He won't have it hanging over him.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. And that's the kind of comparison I just root for, right?
Yeah,
I, w- I, w- After watching him get like not upset about his fail, but like beaten up about it twice in a row. It's because he gets so close,
mm-hmm.
and it's just like, okay, yeah,
I'd like to see this
it's
Halo
time. It's
fan.
time for the course to stop joking about it anymore. It's time for this funny prank to just end.
I'd like to see this Halo fan on other courses, to be honest, because it's like so impressive to see him. Just it was I couldn't believe what I was watching when 16 was premiering, like
Hmm.
seeing him do as well as he did, like even just clearing stage 1. So yeah, I just want to see more of it.
Absolutely, I'm here for it.
Mm,
I feel like Halo fan gets a lot of shit from people in the community. You know,
Um,
which is unfortunate. Like the Flames of the world and the
I
Irishes
see
of
what
the
you mean.
world.
Um,
And I kind of feel like out of all the kids, he kind of deserves it the least.
all I,
You know?
yeah, it is a problem. I'm not gonna like shrug away from it. This is obviously not the podcast to like get into a deep conversation about it on, but yeah,
We do have to have that conversation, though.
yeah,
That'll be another podcast.
and
Yeah.
yeah, another podcast. But all I would say
Right.
to Halo fan and to anyone that's getting like this sort of stick is like be yourselves. You know, you have a right to an opinion if you're
Mhm.
part of the community. Just try and like don't try and be weird about it. Just be normal. You know.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't even tell what gets people so upset with Halo fan, honestly. But I
I mean,
don't
I
know.
only notice it in the Discord, to be honest. And sometimes I think that's what I mean when I say don't be weird, is that sometimes there are some of these kids that like maybe message like really random stuff in the Discord. And one of two things
And
happens. It either gets ignored, like, or you get what you just said. Like Flame
yeah.
might say like a sarcastic comment.
Yeah, right.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have a lot to fill you in on stuff, by the way. This is just me realizing this. At the, once we're done here, I'm gonna talk to you
Yeah.
about it, but yeah.
Okay.
Um,
One of the best
what
ways
was I
he
gonna
can Halo
say?
fan can, of course, help his standing is with continued performances like this. Because if you do good and you show it, like if you show your happiness,
He's
uh,
been, he's been, I, he made his predictions for my tournament. You want to know where he put himself?
on stage 3.
On stage 4, bro.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, okay. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know if maybe that's a slight overestimation, but maybe he needs to get to stage 3, and then when that happens, he's just going to absolutely destroy it. So maybe he knows something that we don't. But
I'm here for it.
it says a lot about his confidence
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
himself.
Who else cleared? I want to make sure I don't miss out on any names.
Um, so
Um,
I stepped up. We haven't technically spoke about me.
yeah, Top Brit.
Yes.
Top Brit, baby.
Um, top Brit off of a slight regression by Super Ninja Jake. How many Brits cleared stage
Yeah.
1 in this tournament? Me, Jake, Strafe.
Yourself, Ninja Jake, Strafe.
Is that it? Or is Robotic
I
High British?
don't think Robotic is British. I think he's American.
GG isn't British.
GG is Latvian.
Yeah, or American.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be. And Halo fans, obviously.
No,
Know.
GG is Latvian, bro. He's our
Yeah.
Latvian representative in the jumping community. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just the 3 of us. Yeah, is that right? Just
Yeah,
the 3
no,
of us?
that's kind of usually how it kind of goes, though.
Yeah, we can.
It's like
Us
Euphorian
Brits are
right now.
great at getting 3 people on.
And Cyrus, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say us Brits are great at getting 3 people on stage 2s, but never any more than that. And then the rest of us Brits, depending on the course, are great at getting 2 Brits on stage 3, and then never any more than that.
Yeah, right.
Like
That makes a lot of sense.
I'd love,
It's
I'd love one day to have a tournament on any course. It doesn't have to be Smokies or Rocks. It can be literally any course where we can get 3 Brits on stage 3, and it's still not happened. Don't get me wrong, some of it is my fault. I kind of suck at stage 2s these days, but when I do good, the other guys let the side down.
Yeah, right.
We kind of knocked on the door like
Dude.
3 times. Like Smokey's last 3 Halo 5 tournaments, we knocked on the door like every time, and someone screwed up. The worst one was in
Yeah.
24 when Z got to stage 3, and Strafe absolutely ballsed it up by failing stage 1 like a plonker.
I
That
like
was
tournament 24.
I like tournament 24 as well.
I did pretty good.
I like tournament 24, but I like 24 so much. I wish that was the last Halo 5 tournament. I wish like we could swap 24 and 25 results around, apart from the free stage free clears. Because if we had
I
like
agree.
if we get the tournament 24 results as tournament 25, and then turn the 10 stage free attempts into free clears, I'd call it like arguably maybe one of the best fucking tournaments ever. Um,
Yeah.
25 was still good, but I don't think it was as good as 24 personally.
Hmm.
But
Interesting.
that's a difference.
I like 24. I mean 25. I like
I
the
like 25 as well. I don't think it's a bad tournament. I just thought 24 was better, even with the 10 stage free fails. Um,
I think the 3-person showdown was one of the cool things that's
tw
happened on Smoky Squares.
20, yeah, the three final stages in 25 kind of made the tournament what it was. And I think that was the boost it needed because the rest of the result, I don't know, it's always difficult when you have a tournament like 24, which is record breaking. Like, you're never going to live up to that. And I think that's what 25 was. It was kind of just that step back, and it was kind of like it was like a meh until the final stage, or like until the free stage free quiz, and then that kicked it back up again.
Right.
But yeah, anyway.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, so we pretty much just covered all the British people in this
yeah,
segment.
so Zip Ties again doing this pod is the best ever, says Snaz. He can't even see it. unless he's
Wait,
talking
what?
about unless he meant to write VOD instead of pod and he's watching my top 10.
Oh god.
I don't know. He just messaged me. He's like, "This pod is the best ever," but I don't know if he was like joking because he can't see our podcast, or
Is he
if he
doing
was.
the podcast with Smokey he was talking about?
I don't know.
Bro's trying to compete with the Bald podcast? No, he
what I
can't.
do know is that their party died after we left. There's only him and Stars left in there now.
They might have started a new party to do a podcast.
They could have.
They said they were actually thinking about doing it, so who knows? Might have some competition.
The Zip Ties did do their damage though, taking out
Yep.
Strafe and Jake. And to be quite frank, I had like no expectations. Like the target for me this tournament and last tournament was those clocks. I need to figure out a strategy for them because
I
otherwise,
will say, one thing you will like, a change that I made in 18. The only
uh,
change I made this stage 3, stage 2 actually,
um,
was I did make the clocks a little bit easier.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
This is really bad. I've actually had a mind blank. Did I fail the first one or the second one?
I think the first one.
I was going to say the second one, but I can't remember. This is my own run,
Sonic
and I
failed the
can't
second
remember.
one.
Yeah,
I think you failed the first, and I think Sonic failed the second.
I think I got really close. Like I just came up short.
Right.
I can't remember. This is really bad. Um, yeah, and then the usual, like, you can throw Strafe, I guess, into this category. The usual spat of like veterans, if you want to call them that at this point. Sonic, Rock,
Mhm.
Flame, the ones that have cleared before.
Strafe,
Stepping up,
yeah.
bouncing back after the previous tournament.
Yep, absolutely.
Um,
Then stage 3.
so yeah, so just before we do, what were the numbers? Like how many people failed? Because obviously the zip ties and the clocks
So
did the biggest
15
damage.
people got to stage 2. Let me look. 15 got to stage
Was it
2.
like 4 and 4 or something, or 5 and 3?
Yeah, let me look at
Yeah, I'm not
the
sure.
list. So GGYT, Strafe,
Oh, Flame and Rock
Jake,
failed the clocks. That's right.
Jake, and I
It was
think
3 and
that's
5.
it. Failed the zip ties. 3,
Yeah, I've got
and
it. Yeah,
then
5.
Yep.
Me.
and then 2 on the metal spin, and then the
Yeah.
rest cleared.
Yeah. Which is pretty much probably about right. The zip ties, maybe, like I say, it could have been like 4 and 4. Like one more person could fail the zip ties, one less could fail the clocks, the metal spin. Chip it in a little bit. That probably is about right standard wise because the zip ties and the clocks are the toughest obstacles on stage 2.
Mhm.
And the metal spin, like I say, can still do damage as well.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I think that kind of looks like your typical stage 2 in terms of like difficulty with fails.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be fair, if you go from 15 and you drop down to 5, then stage 2 must be doing something right to cut the field by 2/3. So
Yeah,
yeah,
pretty happy with how Stage 2 did
one
this
thing I
tournament.
actually yeah, one thing I will say that was quite surprising is how fast everyone went. I know obviously the 5 guys. Well, we didn't know about Robotic Pie, but the other 4 have been typically
Yeah,
fast jumpers. I think Eternal obviously showed it in the last tournament. But Smoky
right.
Fireball, Joey are 3 of the fastest guys around. But even taking that into account, like the fact that all 5 of them cleared with like 11 plus seconds on a
Hmm.
time limit that is not like it's pretty strenuous. I think you got to keep
Also,
moving.
out of that group of people, I find it really funny that Joey had the slowest time.
It's a great sight to see, isn't it? It's how I feel when Smokey clears my stage 2 and he's like one of the slowest because he's always fast
It's
on my stage
beautiful.
2.
It's beautiful.
Oh
And
dear.
Eternal with the fastest time again on Stage 2.
Yeah, he's turning up the speed.
Yeah. Bro's got like the freaking, you see the freaking like turbo in the cars and shit. Dude, he's got
Mm.
that on.
This might also be the
My Honda
first.
Civic has turbo.
This might
No, I'm
also
just
be
kidding.
the first time. I can't remember with like one of Rob's tournaments or one of Irish's tournaments. This might also be one of the. This might be the first time where we've got 2 flames on stage 2 together. Um,
Oh shit. I didn't think about that.
I just noticed it just now.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause they actually did their runs in the same lobby, Flame and Flame, which
Uh,
got really confusing at times. You know the meme of the Spider-Mans pointing at each other? Just
yeah.
like that.
We need a
Yeah.
third flame, and then that meme is perfect.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Uh, I think we've put enough time talking about stage 2.
Hmm.
Um, the last thing I guess is stage 3, and honestly, there isn't too much to talk about with the people that got there. Obviously, Smokey made it back there for the first time since tournament. It's been a while for
14?
Smokey actually. 14.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, and Joey made it there again. Eternal made it there again. Fireball made it there again. Robotic made it for his first time. It's a cool crowd, honestly.
Yeah.
Cool little crowd.
Five attempts again, same as last tournament. Obviously a slight mix-up with swapping out MMO and Jake for Robotic and Smokey.
Hmm.
Um, it probably did feel a little bit like a not anticlimactic, but like a little bit rough to see Robotic obviously going out on the first obstacle and then everyone else failing the same obstacle in
Mm.
different ways. But
That's my only complaint with the tournament.
yeah, like if maybe if even like one of those 4 fails um, was like a cliffhanger fail instead, maybe it would have made it a little bit more interesting. But
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
can't blame someone for clearing a cliffhanger. You can't hold it against
Right.
them. Yeah, the Bear Cloud is just a damn tough obstacle.
It is. That's and it's no longer in the tournament, which is pretty
Oh
interesting. So
yes,
we'll see if the new, oh well, not new, but the Classico hook and ladder will treat the competitors the same way or not.
yeah. Um,
I will say I've talked to a lot of people who have not run yet, but are practicing for the tournament. They're like, oh, dude, this hook and ladder is actually pretty damn tough, which
well,
is
it was
pretty
tough. Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it was tough. Obviously, in the old, yeah, in Halo
I had to
5.
make it harder.
Yeah.
Like compare like I had to make it more of like a corner jump esque thing because
Mm,
of the way Halo Infinite works now. It's a lot easier to move in the air.
yeah.
So I had to kind of make it a bit differently. Just it's fun. You have
Yeah,
to work with what
exactly.
you got.
Yeah, exactly. Um, whatever the game gives you, make the best out of it, I suppose. Um,
Yeah, no.
I can't remember if I said it in the last podcast, but we've been knocking on the door um, for on a few different courses now to try and see like when we're gonna get that first final stage um, in Halo Infinite. And we could have had it obviously in this tournament in 17. Well, to be fair, we could have had it in 16 with how Joey did. But there's every chance that it's coming. It could potentially happen in 18. Um,
Mhm.
it'd be great to finally see it happen. But if it doesn't, then it's probably going to happen on another course anyway, some point very,
Yeah.
very soon.
No, I absolutely agree. I want it to be me, selfishly. I want to have the first Infinite Stage 4, which, is it selfish?
No, absolutely not. I don't think so. I feel like I've brought this up in like the last episode I uploaded. Sorry, it's in the top 10 actually. I put it out today.
Mm-hmm.
I put something on it. I think it was like talking about Vulcan being like the 100th stage 1 clear on Smokey's course. Those are the sort of like there's records, but then there's stats that no one can ever take away from you. And that's the sort of thing that Vulcan will always have. That's a stat that no one else can take away because obviously you can't have another 100th stage 1 clear. You can have a 200th and a 300 and all that, but you can't have another
right.
100th. And it's the same thing I
That's
think.
what I'm saying, man. I feel like
Yeah, whoever
with this new. I'm sorry.
yeah. So I
I'll
was
let
going
you
to say whoever maybe people might forget like the course, because there's quite a lot now compared to Halo 5, MCC, Halo 4, stuff like that. But even if you forget the course that it happened on, the person that does it will always have that statistic, and nobody will be able to take it away from them. They can say, "I was the first person to get to a final stage on Halo Infinite," and it's a sort of thing that I can't even remember who the first person was. I would guess probably Buddy was the first person to get to the final stage on Halo 5.
Oh yeah,
In
because on
Rogs
Rogs too.
and Rog's course,
Yeah.
but
That would make sense.
even then, I don't know that for like absolute certain. But yeah, I think with how the way jumping is now, with like Discord and public servers, and everyone chatting about it and stuff like that, it's the sort of thing that everyone will remember. Will certainly not forget.
They will remember the first Infinite Stage 4, which is exactly why.
Yeah.
I want it to be me.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I'll give you that. That's a fair point.
Think about how much jump clout I get, Hunter. Think about it.
No, oh, God.
I'm joking. But no, I think we're kind of moving on from 17 to 18 a little bit here. So I think I'm gonna get into it a little bit. What I find interesting about 18 is that I reduced the difficulty on pretty much every stage, which kind of just opens the floodgates. That's what I was trying to do, right? Yeah. I'm like, I want anywhere from, like, my minimal goal is a stage 4 in this tournament. I could see 3 people doing it. Honestly. I could see a tournament 25-esque showdown on stage 4, which would be cool, right?
This is bad.
I think I've sent you a picture.
Sorry, I was going to say, I was trying to find the 3 stages, because you obviously put the predictions message out, to remind myself of the obstacles. I can't remember what the egg steps look like, so I kind of guessed when I did my predictions for those, but like the Dorito Dash is obviously an old obstacle. In my opinion, probably a little easier than the triple hole in the wall, but we'll have to see what it's like on
That's the
Infinite.
conclusion that I've personally drawn.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll never know until we get those damn results.
Stage 2 is obviously the same, but you did obviously just say that the clocks are a little bit easier. And then obviously we know the hook and ladder in stage 3. And
also the vertical limit.
Oh, yes.
Kai was brought back.
Yes.
It's a bit different now. Um, the way it works now is the transfer. It's going a practically 180-degree corner jump.
Oof.
It's pretty damn sweaty, but like the ledge is sticking out enough to where you can catch the corner lip, right?
Hmm.
It's kind of like Irish is, except not really. I don't know how to explain it,
Yeah.
but
We'll all see it obviously when we run the course, and then obviously when 18 comes out.
somebody better get that far. If I'm being real, somebody better get that far.
If anyone fails the hook and ladder, Atlantic's gonna be pissed.
Exactly. No, but I think as an overall wrap up for everything, my favorite part of Tournament 17, um, I'd say my favorite part of Tournament 17 might be Robotic Pie's run. I think that was my favorite thing I recorded the whole tournament.
Yeah. And it was like,
Honest to God.
if it wasn't the very first thing, it was one of the first things because since he ran early.
It
So
was the first thing I did. Yeah, it made
it
the rest of a tournament pretty damn boring to
yeah.
record.
Um,
Because I started off on such a high and I was like, oh shit, this tournament's gonna be wild. And then MMO failed stage one and I was just like, fuck.
I don't know what could be technically considered the worst thing in the tournament, but I know for damn sure one of the possibilities would have been Irish's fail. So it can only get better in the next
Oh
tournament,
yeah.
Irish.
Yep. And he's failed early before. He failed the pipe shifter in 8, but
Mm.
like and he usually bounces back and I think that like his bounce back tournament after 8 was 9 where he got to like the second to last obstacle of stage 1, which for 9 standards is pretty good,
Mm.
you know?
It's not as good as timing
But
out on the last obstacle, but
well, you're just shit, so it's like it's
yeah,
fine.
that's what you call the, to bring it full circle. That's what you call a step back. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what you call a fall off. No, it was rough for Irish. Definitely one of the shocks, especially since he was like one of the higher numbers in that tournament.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's not like it's gonna be one of those where he'll bounce back.
Yeah, no, I expect it. And I think that if he were to fail, um, I might have to like, re-update my have fun rules and put an actual penalty. I don't know. That might be what does it. The not having fun penalty. I
Mm.
have actually considered that.
Oh, what are you gonna?
The having a penalty if you don't have fun.
Having fun.
You know the people that they'll like fail and then they'll like call the course shit or whatever, and it's obviously my fault that they sucked at jumping, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just like I don't want to deal with that shit. you know, I don't want to say I don't have time for that shit, but like, well, yeah, I really don't want to deal with it.
Mm.
It's just not on my agenda. It's just an idea I'm throwing out there. Cause
Yeah.
I want people to have a positive time, right?
Yeah. If you're not
You can't
enjoying
have
it,
fun on any other course, man. You gotta have fun on this one.
I was gonna say, if you're not enjoying it, again, this is something I've definitely said in a previous podcast. If you're not enjoying it, then
Don't do
probably
it.
shouldn't be doing it. Yeah. But at the same time, the only person who can make you have fun is yourself. So if you're not letting yourself have fun, then you need to look at yourself as well. But that's a whole of a that's a much deeper conversation. Um,
Hell yeah. Yeah. Anything else new about 18 that I can think of? Like any important things? There's a backdrop now on stage 1 at the start line. That's pretty cool. They put
with
that
the
in
with the
with the
green screen
lights and
and all that
stuff.
stuff. Yeah.
Not the green screen, but
Uh,
on stage one. But I took that part out. But I did put a backdrop there.
ah,
That way, it's not looking bland there.
mm.
Honest to God, the reason why there wasn't one before was because in Tournament 16, I built the map in 24 hours. That is, yep.
Uh,
It's about it. Um, Other news. Cyrus is eligible to compete again.
you see that?
He
Yeah. So did I forget? Did I forget why he wasn't in 17?
he had an double ump scandal.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's eligible to compete again. He served his time. I hate banning people. I want to make that abundantly clear that I hate banning people, and I'll only do it if I feel like I have to.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm happy that that's over. Um, because of that.
Could be another contender to do well in the next tournament.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. Should we go over our predictions for this tournament?
Yeah, we can do. Yeah.
Because we
Anything
made
might not.
predictions, even though the tournament already started. We made these predictions before knowing any results. I did and Hunter did. Um, the people who were there for me making my predictions in this tournament were Ump Double Ump and Halo Fan.
That was
So
you predicted on Double Up and Halo Fan to finish first place.
no, 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 no. I'm just saying they were present for me doing my predictions.
Oh, sorry. I see what you mean. I misunderstood you there.
Uh, yeah, no, 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 no. I don't have Ump getting that far or Halo Fan getting that far.
uh,
No,
okay,
like
I got mine.
not first place level.
Yeah. All right, I got
So I
mine up.
think I'll just do a quick little like summary of mine. Uh, I had 6 people out on egg steps, 2 people out on the ascending balls, 8 people out on the pipe shifter, 2 people out on the ascending pillars, 4 people on the jumping spider, and 5 people on the Dorito dash, and 1 timeout. Ending us with 22 clears. Those names being Joey Davis, Smoky Massacre, Fireball, Ump Double Ump, Eternal Flame, MMO, Halo Fan, Disappoint, Game Man Gaming, Robotic Pie, Matt, Petrillo, Go Tanks, Jake, Hunter, Epic Handy, Dosis, Caden Bogard, Walnut, Glowcombs, Sonic, Flame, and Rog.
I'm very disappointed that out of 22 names, I was the 15th name on that list.
Hey, bud.
So
Wait,
if this prediction actually came true, you would tie the all-time Stage 1 clear record on any course, with the
yep,
22 on my course.
yepers. And I do it in half the time.
Yeah. Well,
Because the time limit's a minute.
yeah,
I
I
knew
see what you mean,
exactly
yeah.
what I was doing. For stage 2, I had 2 people out on the mini bamboo forest. Those 2 being Dosis and Caden. I had 5 people out on the zip ties. Those being Jake, Go Tanks, Disappoint, Glowcombs, and Walnut. And for the crazy clocks, I had 3 people. Sonic, Rog, and Game Man Gaming. For the metal spin, I had 1 person who I picked Flame. And then for the spider climb / timeout category, I had 1, and it was Hunter Unit 751.
Yeah, I was wondering when that was coming. I when you
Yeah,
didn't say the clocks for me, I had a funny
yeah,
feeling you were going to say timeout.
yeah. So I I am predicting there to be 10 clears out of a 22.
What's your previous
Those being
all-time like stage
uh,
two quiz record
the highest I've ever had, I think was 8.
in eight?
I think so.
8 in 8.
It might have been 9.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's either 8 or 15. Both the tournaments I had grand champion in
Yeah.
were pretty high. Um, for stage 3, the competitors list would be Joey, Smokey, Fireball, Double Ump, Eternal Flame, MMO, Halo Fan, Robotic Pie, Petrillo, and Weapon Matt. It's my crowd
Okay.
of 10. And I had none of them eating it on the swing edge. And then I had 3 people out on the flying shelf grab. Those 3 names were Robotic Pie, Halo Fan, and Weapon Matt.
Hmm.
I had 1 person out on the discount meter's edge, Petrillo. So that's how many? 5 people left, I think. Am I right?
6, I think. You
I
had 3 out on the
had
second obstacle, didn't you?
yeah.
Yeah, 6. You should have 6 left.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm doing my math ain't mathin' right now. Oh, I forgot to put Eternal Flame down, but I can just put that one in real quick. I knew my math was wrong. Shit. Okay. I don't think anybody's failing the ultimate crazy cliffhanger. This tournament with the 6 names I have left. On the hook and ladder, I have 1 man, and his name is Fireball. You want me to explain why?
No, I could probably figure it out.
Fireball has tried that obstacle 3 times now, the hook and ladder. And in his career, he has never beaten it.
Hmm.
Never.
No.
And now for vertical limit Kai, I had 2 people failing this jump. And those 2 were Double Ump and Eternal Flame. Right?
Mhm.
And so this means I had 3 names left, just so we're on the same page. And I think they all go to stage 4.
That being Joey, Smokey, and
MMO Direct.
MMO. Wow. Wow.
Yes. Honest to God, part of this is my predictions, part of this is my dream tournament.
Yeah.
For Smokey, I just thought about it as who is most likely to just walk onto that stage and beat the shit out of it. And that's the answer I came up with.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you could easily swap Smokey out with, like, a Fireball.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think I'd like a Fireball a lot more than a Smokey because Smokey's already been there twice. You know? Like, get a new name on the tower, but that's who I think is most likely to do it. MMO, I think, even though he kind of, like, fell to the pressure a little bit in 17, I still think he has the most promise out of the newer competitors.
Yeah.
And I think that he's the only one out of those new guys who really can, like, pull through, you know?
Step up.
But once again, it's one of those circumstances where you could easily swap an Eternal Flame into that mix instead of an MMO, you know?
Hmm.
I think that both Eternal and MMO are that good. And Joey, he's gotten first place the last 2 tournaments. I think that's kind of an easy pick. You
Yeah.
know?
One tough scenario that you would have with this Excuse me, if you did have three people on the final stage, because everything we just said about the first person to get to the final stage, that's like never gonna get forgotten. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Whoever is the first person to like do their run and get to the final, if like let's say if it was I don't know, let's say if it was Smokey, because Smokey's gonna be one of like the last guys to go. Um,
Yeah.
on stage one. If Smokey was the first person to get to the final, first person to show up, do a run, and get to the final, I mean, that would
Mm-hmm.
mean that you'd have to put Smokey below MMO and Joey if they both got to the final as well, because otherwise, in the video, whoever is shown first in the video, people would then think, "Oh, hang on, MMO was the first person to ever get to the final," or something like that, and then it could get a little confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's the not to kill your dreams, but
Mm-hmm.
that would be the rough scenario if it was only like one person got to stage three, then you have to worry about got to stage four, then you wouldn't have to worry about any of this. Um,
Hunter, look at your
yeah,
Discord.
I'm looking.
Don't repeat it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
S-
I know.
yeah. So,
I know. Yeah,
like, yeah.
if only one person, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If only one person gets to stage four, you don't have to worry about this. But if you had like two people or more, then you'd have to figure out some sort of like number fiddling thing.
Yeah, no, I'll have some like clarification. And honest to God, uh the run order you're forgetting, it's
Oh,
not up to me.
I completely forgot. It's fucking Chat GPT,
Chat
isn't it?
GPT, baby.
Fucking hell, Joey at
I
number
gotta get
one.
into that a little bit. So basically, I decided that I was halfway through designing the Tournament 18 run order, right? And I was like, this whole operation fucking sucks. It's boring, right? And I was like, I want to find a way to make this really fucking interesting. And I'm like, if I have a ChatGPT designed run order after I finish the tournament, so nobody knows what their spot is in the run order, right? Until the tournament happens. Like, wouldn't that be so cool? That's like my mindset. I'm like, if it would, reward people for watching the tournament all the way through. They can actually, watch the video and not just skip straight to their run and call it a day. Again, selfish. um, but also it's like it adds a twist because number 50 could be Pacific Champ.
I think a rule has to exist to say it can't be Pacific Champ.
It could be Pacific Champ.
Number one, Joey Davis. Number 50, Eat My Nuts 5567.
It could be a complete rando at 50. It'd be a
Exactly.
very anticlimactic way to end the tournament, but it's fun, right? It's the
It's
whole thing.
it could definitely be interesting. It will definitely be
That's
wacky.
that's my point. We could start off the tournament with like a weapon mat stage
Oh
one
God.
fail, and just people would be like down in the dumps the rest of the video.
Oh.
I love it.
Um,
I think it's a genius idea.
did you?
Because initially, I was telling you I was gonna do a lottery again, but similar to Smokies, but a trials slash a lottery.
Hmm,
Right.
yeah. So this is
A weird
18.
fucking
This
mix.
is 18, obviously. With a big one like 20, you obviously probably should do a proper order for it. I suppose you
I
could
have a plan
come
for
up with.
20.
I suppose you could come up with some kind of like different idea for the run order in 19 as well. Like you could play around with something
I
again.
I I have some ideas.
But I think yeah. Um, did you have?
I
Did you?
just like doing thing. I just like I get that there's some good, what's so like different doesn't always mean good. I understand that. But I'm like, if I don't do that, who else has the balls to do it, right?
Yeah. Um,
So I'm like, I have to do it for science.
everyone, there's enough tournaments around these days that everyone has like, well, 95%. I think we discussed this in a podcast previously when people were complaining about Smokey's lottery tournament, and I said then
Yeah.
like it's something different. It mixes the field up a little bit. You've got friggin' me at 50 and Irish at 100. It's cool. It's something to look back on like 5 years in the future, like 5 years from now, and be like, oh yeah, that was wacky when we did the lottery run order. Um, and like 90 to 95% of tournaments all do the same things in terms of the run order. You reward the best people with the highest numbers. So doing something wacky and different every so often, it's not like Chumpy's doing this every tournament, so people wouldn't have to worry about it every tournament. But it's just something different. And there's certainly bigger fish to fry. Like, worry about how you're going to do on stage one than worrying about what number you're going to have.
I also think that it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Um,
If we have the same copy and paste tournament style every time, you know what it's gonna get? Fucking boring.
Repetitive, yeah.
I
That's why I think if you don't get me wrong, Smokey's made it work because it's his first Infinite tournament. But I think if it was like me, Rog, or Smokey, if we just picked a random tournament and did it, it maybe might people might think it's a bit weird. So for the Chumpies or the Irishes or the Flames or whatever of the world, if they did something wacky and different, they kind of have free reign. They can kind of experiment, if that makes sense, and see if
Mhm.
it. Because like Trumpy just said, you can play around with stuff, and some stuff will work, and other stuff won't, and they've got the
And it
opportunity where they can
also
do that.
gives a lot of like uh I don't want to say lower level competitors, but that's what I'm going to use because I can't think of a better terminology, like as not mean
Yeah.
as possible.
No, no,
It gives them a chance to get some spotlight.
exactly. That's why.
Imagine we
That's
get a 50 as like a
snaz.
foamy.
I just whispered snaz, but what I was about to say was that's one of the reasons why I love my 17 with the trials course. It's because snaz was 94. It's great. Chris
Yeah,
as a newcomer was 95.
no. Yeah, I love that idea of giving newer competitors a chance at some spotlight. I love
Mm,
that.
yeah.
And I
You're
think that in a time like right now, early on Infinite is the best time to do that.
I'm getting hammered with invites from Smokey. I don't know if he wants me or needs me or something. Did you
Okay,
prediction?
we're gonna wrap it up here
Did you
soon, yeah.
give your final stage predictions or did you not give them out? Did we not? You
I
said the
none of
three
them climbed
people.
the none of them climbed the tower.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
have mentioned if I had someone winning.
I'm gonna speed
They're
through
all gonna
mine.
eat shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna speed through mine very quickly because you've obviously already got my results in a message, so you already know them. But for the viewers at home, I've got obviously 50 competitors, 10 of them failing the first obstacle because I don't know what the first obstacle looks like, so I don't know if it's hard or not. Three
We already,
people
yeah.
failing the balls, 10 people failing the pipes, 4 people failing the pillar things, 5 people failing the spider, 4 people failing the Doritos, and 1 timeout on the walk to wall, which gives me a massive, way too low 13 clears because I did these predictions before the premiere of 17 and didn't know that there were 15 clears in 17. So I've
Yeah.
massively underjudged this. So, oh well. But hey, 13 clears. We got me, Joey, Smokey, Fireball, Ump, MMO, who I now know will bounce back, Halo Fan, I hope, Halo Fan, Petrillo, Robotic, Eternal Flame, Strafe, Irish, and Flame. Especially would love it if Irish bounces back. Um,
Yeah.
and then the 13 on stage 2, none on the first 2 obstacles. 2 people on the zip ties, Irish and Flame. 4 people on the clocks, me, Strafe, Petrillo, and Robotic Pie. Again, this was obviously before I knew the clocks were made a little bit easier. This is going to be really funny. 2 people on the middle spin, Guess who they are? Ump and Halo fan. The two people you
Again.
just told me, so that's not going to happen. Rip. And then for some reason, I don't know why on God's earth I put this. I've put Eternal Flame as timing out on the last obstacle, which is not going to
He's
happen.
gone the fastest time in the past two. He cleared with 19 last time.
I don't think I'm doing well in these. I don't think I'm going to do well this time in the predictions game. But hey ho,
The anti predictions.
we got 4 clear. Yeah, this is a Puma's predictions right now. But
Yeah,
like it's
right.
the opposite way around because Puma goes really positive on his predictions. I've gone way too negative.
Right.
I got 4 on stage 3. Joey, Smokey, Fireball, and MMO. I think, but I don't think. This is where I'm trying to get strategic. I think there will be a fail on Discount Mirror's Edge. And I just put MMO, but it could be anyone. I also put that I think there'll be a fail by someone on the cliffhanger. Again, I put Fireball, but I don't actually have any belief that Fireball will fail it. I put one fail on the hook and ladder, which was Smokey, and then I predicted Joey Davis to clear stage 3 and
Yeah.
fail the final stage. But I believe Joey has been knocking on the door on several courses at this point. Anyone that's watched Smokey's premiere that came out 2 weeks ago after this video comes out, if I've got my math right.
I think so.
Yeah, just over 2 weeks ago, we'll have already seen Joey wrap up another stage 1 clear. He's obviously gone to stage 2 in 26. He's obviously been doing really well on Chompy's course. He's also been doing pretty well, apart from that shock fail, on Irish's course. So, yeah, I think Joey's easily my number 1 pick. If someone's going to get to a final stage first on any course, it would be Joey. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's just kind of a top guy right now.
Oh, yeah.
Just wild. I think that we've kind of covered everything in some weird half-ass speedrun podcast we did.
Yeah, we normally drag these out, but it's nice to have a podcast.
No,
every so
usually if a video gets uploaded, I'm talking about like how good this shit is. Dude, did you guys see? Did you the trailer? Haha, it's so cool looking. I love that trailer, dude.
The trailer was good.
Wasn't it so? I gave you a seed, even though I didn't have your stage 1 run at that point when I edited it. I went and acted like I was Hunter Unit and punched the ground.
Oh, right. You see, I actually thought that was me. So in that case, no, that was very good then.
Yeah, I planned that. I was like, what if I had him punch into the beat? I actually sped up that footage so that it would work. Did it look awkward at all?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because I sped it up to like 110% speed.
Before we close this out, I've got something funny that I just came across on my Facebook feed. You know One Direction?
Yeah.
You know the song
Are you
Best
back?
Song? You know the song Best Song Ever?
Yeah, right.
Yesterday, at the time of us filming this, yesterday was 10 years since that song came out.
Fuck off.
No, that's true. And
That's terrifying. You know what? I saw on TikTok. I saw this kid say My Chemical Romance is classic rock.
Oh,
You know how
God.
terrifying that is?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can, but it's still. There's so many things like
It's so not classic rock.
when you
But
get
like,
when you get older.
am I that old?
Just when you get that, no. When you just as I get older and things get like things that were like new or people that were young.
Am I becoming a boomer?
Yeah.
Is that what we're becoming? There's kids that don't know what the fuck SpongeBob is, and that disappoints me.
No, because I'm not disappointed in that because I don't like SpongeBob. I've never liked SpongeBob.
I grew up with SpongeBob.
Yeah, it kind of sickens me how many people in this community grew up with SpongeBob.
I love that show. I won't hate on it. I saw a TikTok today of somebody who put like Hot Wheels on a McDonald's sandwich, right?
Oh
And
God.
have you watched the SpongeBob movie before? Have you
Uh,
seen a paddy wagon?
the only thing I can remember from the SpongeBob movie is when he ends up like above the water.
Oh, with David Hasselhoff?
I can't even remember it was David Hasselhoff. Yeah, I just remember at one point he was not under the sea anymore.
Yeah. No,
Mm.
because the SpongeBob movie happened, right? And they needed to save the Krusty Krab, and so they went to the basement of a Krusty Krab and busted out the Paddy Wagon, which was just a Krabby Patty, but as a car. And somebody
You're a little
attached
bit
Hot
laggy.
Wheels wheels. What?
You're a little bit laggy then, but
Shit.
I was not going to say anything just to roll this story along because this is the dragging out of the podcast that we were just talking about. We're not talking about fucking SpongeBob. Oh
But they made the Paddy Wagon. Isn't it awesome?
no, this just means nothing to me. I'm old.
It's the Paddy Wagon.
I'm old. This means nothing to me. The only
Everybody
Paddy I know is
who is
freaking.
still watching, everybody who's still watching this stream, I want to see who gets this far on the Bald Podcast. Comment Paddy Wagon if you made it this far.
The only Paddies I know are freaking Irish and Steps. The Paddy
The
Steps
Paddy
are bad.
Wagon, bro.
Paddy freaking Clips and Paddy the Irishman.
Paddy Bimblet.
It's
Bimblett.
Paddy O'Neill. It's Paddy O'Neill here.
Oh my god.
I really just have a. Oh my god! Could you imagine if I created a fake gamer tag and then showed up to like anyone's course and was like, "Hello there, I'm Paddy O'Fregan. I want to run your course." Would you believe
Yeah,
that?
that sounds about right.
Would you believe it?
Yeah,
You won't
I
now
think
'cause
we're
you've heard
wrapping
the
this up
voice.
because I think they want to play an HBL game.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, apparently. Anyways, this was Ball Podcast 11. Hit that like button, dab on that play button, subscribe button. Um, remember to do the dishes. Help your parents around the house. Be a good child. I don't know. If you're old enough to, do that shit. Just do something nice for your parents today. They deserve it. All right. Peace out, guys.
See ya.